Your clothing brand will not be successful. And it's because you lack five things. And because you lack five things, you are lacking motion, you've got no money, no hoes, you can't scale shit, and no one will ever buy your brand. But you want to have motion sickness, too much motion. You want to have motion money, like money that doesn't make sense. You want hoes, hoes, and hoes. You want people buying your brand and you want everyone glazing your shit. And in this video, I'm going to explain how to create a successful brand properly. How to create a successful clothing brand in 2026. This is going to be one of the most concise and the best pieces of information you've heard in regards to building a clothing brand. If you're someone who actually wants to grow this and scale this, I've got a lot of information and resources for you at the end of this video, but let's get over it. Now, welcome to how to run a successful, and I mean an extremely successful clothing brand. Like we mentioned before, this will not be your usual regurgitation of information, meaning the same content pushed out by most people in the clothing brand space. I am going to challenge you rigorously. I didn't even say that right. In this video, I'm going to continue to challenge a lot of the things you believe. I am going to challenge your beliefs, your mindset, your ideologies, and the way of thinking. I am going to adopt a new framework in your mind so that as the founder, you can think critically. Let us prepare ourselves. So let's go over the content and what you're going to learn and how to create this successful clothing brand. Because most people are going to tell you, well, open up a Shopify store. And really and truly, if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. Like watch another video where it tells you how to open up a Shopify store and think you'll get a manufacturer and make 10K. But if you really want to know the intricate details as a business founder, like you want to be successful, I'm not talking make money, I'm talking be fucking successful and make 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. The value you're going to get is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and pounds. So, introduction, your service to mankind, problem solving for the market, and the 5 pillars to creating a successful clothing brand. I promise you, you will not walk away from this video confused. You will know everything to a T on how to build a successful clothing brand. Okay? Let's go over the introduction and your service to mankind. As a clothing brand founder, it is your obligation to put clothes on people's backs. That is the absolute truth. And I'm going to zoom in here. Just like every business in the world, each business serves its own purpose. We have numerous, hundreds of businesses that exist in this world of ours and that, we've been birthed into, and each of them play a different role. And let's give some examples. Clinics. Clinics help patients with medicine, recovery, and health. Supermarkets. Supermarkets help people gather resources, groceries, food, and resources. Social media. Give people entertainment, communication, and opportunities. Banks. Help people store money, manage finances, and access credit. Schools. Help students gain knowledge, skills, and qualifications. Gyms. Help people improve fitness, strength, and overall health. Restaurants. Help people access convenient meals and dining experiences. Logistics companies help business and consumers move goods efficiently. E-commerce platforms help businesses sell products and customers shop conveniently. Streaming services help people access on-demand entertainment and media. Consulting firms help businesses solve problems and improve performance. Real estate agencies help people buy, sell, and rent property. Payment processors help businesses accept payments and manage transactions. Customer support services help users resolve issues and get assistance. Cloud providers help businesses store data and run software online. And what was the whole point of me explaining all these different businesses? Well, I'm going to break this down even more. Every single business has their own purpose and obligation. In order to be a respected and reputable business, you need a mission. There has to be a reason why you've created your business and who you're trying to help by doing so. If not, there is absolutely no reason as to why you should be in the clothing brand industry or business. And let me make this abundantly clear. If your sole intention is to just make money with this clothing brand you want to build, know that it will not take you far. You will not succeed at all if you half-ass this business. It is going to require pain, fatigue, blood, sweat, tears, regret, loss, joy, happiness, focus, retention, attention, growth, resilience, adaptability, criticism, acceptance of criticism, and more. If you come into this niche thinking that you can just, hop in here, propagate the market, talk to a manufacturer all the way in China that's working 16 hours a week for like $500 every month, and then you can just run up 100K month just like that and take all the profit and scam everyone. You're sorely mistaken. And that is an insult to all the founders, to all the manufacturers, to all the people, to all the consumers and customers who have spent countless hours in trying to build a product, offer, or service that would be good to the people they are trying to reach. So let me repeat this. If your goal is to just make money with your clothing brand, you will not make any money. And I'm not trying to say that as well just to be like I'm hating. I run a consulting company. Clothing brands make 6 figures in revenue and take 4 figures in profit. You will not make money. A lot of the money you see, you will not make it, because as it comes in, shall it go out? So if you're going into this business trying to make money with it, say goodnight. So let's go over the next thing then. Problem solving for the market. Because what I just said was a very strange thing for me to say. Why won't you make any money when trying to solve a problem in the clothing brand space? Well, you won't make any money simply because you're not actually solving a problem in your market. In your niche, you are not helping anybody with the clothes you're making. You're genuinely not adding value to people's lives. Most founders that make an incredible amount of money only do that because they exchange something for money. All right, let me edit this in real time. Sorry, for money. In order to earn money, you need to first give something of equal exchange to get it. So for example, to get money, you need to either give up time, so exchange your time for money. For example, working a job, that's why you get paid per hour value. If you give someone something valuable, they'll return that with money. Attention, if you pay attention to someone, you pay them with your time, and time is money. These are really the only intangible real ways you can ever accumulate money. Without time, value, or attention, no money can ever be made. So then that begs the question, what do clothing brand founders offer in order to generate money? It is incredibly simple. Brand owners offer identity. I'll repeat. Brand owners offer you identity. That's why they make so much money. They offer identity. And just to demonstrate, let's do a quick exercise, okay? Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to show you a series of images, and I want you to either write wear or not wear. Get a pen and a paper because you need to write this down, or get your phone and write down either the word wear or not wear, because I'm going to show you a series of images with people in clothes, and depending on how you would like it on your body or whether you see it, just write wear or not wear, okay? So let's go over the first image. The first image is this one. Is this something you would wear or not wear? Okay, next thing. Okay, next thing. Okay, next thing. It's kind of mad, by the way. Okay. Would you wear this? Would you wear this? And this? Something like this, maybe? Maybe this? Would you wear this? Would you wear this? Would you wear something like this, actually? How about this? Maybe this? This? Maybe this? Or this? The reason why I showed you all them series of images is to paint a picture and to break down one simple point. If you look at your phone or your pen or your paper, the reason why you wrote wear or not wear was based on how wearing them clothes would make you feel, rather the identity you bought into when you saw them clothes. You didn't see a tank top with white, I don't know the material, fabric, and you didn't see a white tank top with lines. You saw yourself wearing a tank top with your muscles either showing, with your face being clear, with the shorts you was going to wear with it, with the compliments you was going to get. You didn't see that tracksuit in the first image with the guy with the cornrows. You saw that tracksuit zipping up, people asking you, where did you get that tracksuit from? You saw you running around in that tracksuit. You saw how comfortable you felt in that tracksuit, how confident you felt in that tracksuit, right? So you bought into the identity of the things you would wear. Now, if you said not wear for anything, then clearly that shows that you just haven't found a piece of clothing from the images I presented to you of something that you would wear. That's all it means. But when you buy clothes, or whenever you wear clothes on your body, for example, this hoodie I'm wearing right now, I have bought into the identity of the person to make me be. Likewise with you. But wait, didn't I just say that there are only 3 ways to make money? And those ways were either through time, value, and attention. How does identity come into play? Like where does identity come from? Because I said money, time, value. Because I said time, value, and attention. So where does this identity thing come into play? Well, time, value, and attention are what I like to call parent variables. Think of them as the title of a book, and the writing inside is what it is offering. The reason why identity makes money is because it provides value. Out of all 3 variables, value is the one that really makes money. Time will make you money because you exchange your time for money. Attention will make you money because you exchange your attention for time and time for money. But value will make you money. Why? Because all money is simply an exchange of value. That's all money is. The reason why you have money is because you've given something valuable to another person. Vice versa. You cannot make money without first providing value. So let's look at a few examples on how people in this day and age provide value in exchange for money. Motivation coaches. So motivation coaches provide value by building discipline, a mindset, and make money via coaching and courses. Therapists. Therapists provide value and make money by improving mental well-being, make money via session fees, and insurance. Personal brands. Personal brands provide value when they provide insight or entertainment, and they make money via sponsorships and products. Paid communities. They create belonging and shared knowledge, and they make money via memberships. Newsletters. They deliver curated insights, make money via subscription and ads. Podcasts. They educate or entertain listeners, make money via sponsorships and ads. Social media influencers. They drive audience attention, make money via brand deals and affiliates, or maybe create awards programs. Online educators. Teach skills remotely, make money via course sales and cohorts. Digital marketplaces. They connect buyers and sellers, and they make money via take rates and fees. Reputation managers. They provide value by protecting public image, make money via retainers and projects. Trend forecasters. They predict market shifts, and they make money via subscriptions and consulting. Now, if you was to look at all these different people and the way they provide value, if you gave any of these individuals money, it's simply because they provided enough value in your life to do so and to solve a painful problem in your life. Look at anything you have purchased in your room right now. Like, genuinely take a look in your room, right? The only reason you've purchased that is because it added enough value to your life, and it helped you, and it's helping you, or it has helped you solve a problem. Without it providing value, you wouldn't buy it, keep it, or even take care of it. So to look back to my point, because where am I going with this? I'm talking about value, I'm talking about identity, I'm talking about attention. How does this really relate to clothing? If you do not provide value to your market, i.e. clothing brands and your niche, you can't hope to generate any sales, any community, or any legacy. People will only buy when the product or service you're offering solves a problem for them. So why do clothing founders sell clothes? To put simply, it's because it makes people feel better about themselves and feel more comfortable, confident, happy, safe, or secure, depending on the message you have given to them. Your customers and audience will buy your hoodies, your t-shirts, your jeans, your shoes, your beanies, your gloves, your bracelets, your chains, etc. only, and I mean only, if it makes them feel like the avatar you've drafted in your marketing or messaging. You cannot sell to people when you don't have anything to offer them. People do not buy the hoodie. They buy what makes the hoodie. And what makes the hoodie? The story. What was the story? Maybe a person who needed a hoodie desperately and the hoodie saved his life. Or maybe when this guy wears this hoodie, or this particular hoodie, he gets so many compliments. Or maybe whenever this guy wears this hoodie, he gets some superpowers. People buy into the identity of the thing, not the thing itself. You buy into the identity, rather, you buy into the idea of who you could be. You do not buy the thing itself. If you sit there saying, I buy the hoodie because the hoodie is a hoodie. You're lying. You're buying the hoodie because you're buying into the idea of what it would look like for you if you wore the hoodie. Now, whatever way that manifests to you is different. That could be confidence. That could be determination. That could be swag. That could be, I don't know, comfortability. But you buy into the idea of something. You buy into what makes you feel. So making a cool design frantically doesn't mean jack shit in this clothing brand market. And I know that sounds harsh to say, but the person who has created a story behind the brand, product, and messaging and community will outsell you every time because you just made a cool looking hoodie. That's it. You've just made a cool looking hoodie. That's all. And I want to add this. There are thousands of cool looking hoodies with distressing writing, text, fonts, heights, GSMs, amazing GSMs, quality, colors, features. You are no different. Because you make a cool hoodie doesn't mean anything. You are genuinely no different. So that then begs the question, what problem does my market have? What problem does my niche have? What problems do my clients have? How can I solve this problem for them? What purpose do my clothes give these people? How should or do people feel when they wear my product? What's the transformation a client of mine will go through once they get my product? And this is exactly where I come in. My whole thing now is to break down the next most important thing that forms a successful brand and makes you capable of achieving heights you've never dreamed of before. And this is simply clarity. People pay thousands for this. And I'm about to give it to you. Pause. The 5 pillars to creating a successful clothing brand. Let's go. In order to create a successful brand, you need many things. But the 5 pillars of success within a clothing brand will be labeled to you below with ways of actually moving toward them and achieving them. As you can see on the screen clearly, there are 5 main things that you need in order to create a successful clothing brand. I'm sorry, if you don't have any of these, GG's. A personal brand, your target audience, your brand identity, your unique selling point, and your customer experience. These are the 5 pillars of creating a successful clothing brand. And without these, you are fried. You're cooked. What's the personal brand? Well, the personal brand is the frontman of the brand, the innovator, the creator, and the maker. The target audience is the impressionable, the aggregate, the citizens within the empire. So this is your customers. Your brand identity is your fetus. It's the baby. It's the identity the customers will morph into once they buy your brand. Your unique selling point is your differentiation. It's your pride of the brand. It's your last name of the brand. And your customer experience is the harmony of the customer with the brand and the clothes, all in one. I know each of the descriptions of the pillar were actually abstract. I know I was talking about creator, innovator, fetus, and stuff like that. But it's necessary for us in order to visualize the significance of each pillar within your business. Now, let's go in order to get an understanding of what each pillar is and how to properly embed them into your business and begin creating your empire. Are you ready? Let's go. So let's look at the personal brand, because what is a personal brand? Well, a personal brand is simply a base, okay, like a home office or like HQ, where the community can look at and see the internal workings and the brain of the brand. Remember, you're the founder. You're not just the guy who made the clothes. You're the guy who made the fucking clothes. You're that guy who made the shit that people are buying. People want to see you. As much, like, I understand, as much as they want to see the brand, as much as they want to buy your clothes, they want to see the person who made the clothes. They want to know the person who put them clothes on their back. It's a survival biological thing. You are feeding a mass amount of people. You are giving clothes, you are giving warmth to a bunch of people. Do you honestly think it is fair for your community for them not to know who you are because you're a bit too shy? By the way, building a personal brand with a clothing brand makes you more money, by the way. So I don't know. I've never met a person who said no to more money. But anyways, no brand just spawned out of thin air. They were first created from a piece of paper and pen and then brought to life by the frontman, the creator, the innovator, and the maker. People love... How do I say this in the words? People People love to see what the founder is doing. They love to see what you're doing. People love to see what you're doing, right? The questions your customers will have is, how do they operate? How does the founder operate? What do you think on a day-to-day basis? What made the founder want to start a brand? How did they come up with such ideas? What do they look like? What will they make next? And how will they make it? These are all different questions your community is going to have. And if you do not give this mass amount of people what they're asking for, you're doing wrong by them, because these people are paying you and they don't get to know anything. Without a personal brand, you deprive the community of a leader, a persona, or an identity they would like to embed themselves in. And I need you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will advocate for your brand better than you will in the beginning. No person is going to fight for your brand better than you will in the beginning of your journey. When you first create your brand, if there is no personal brand, if there is no hero or leader, naturally, people will lead to their own devices. People will just wear the clothes and be like, yeah, I know the story of the brand, but I don't know who even made the clothes. It's whatever. Like, I might as well be the king of the clothes. How would you feel if a customer came to you and said, this is my clothing brand, I made this shit? No one's made a personal brand, and someone makes a fake personal brand and then he just yanks your shit. How would you feel? You need to understand, personal brands give authority and voice. People do not buy from people who are lower than them. People buy from people who are higher than them. That's what we call buying power. It's quite simple. And if you don't agree, well, look at anything in your room and see whether you've bought something from someone really lower than you, if you didn't get scammed. Because usually if someone has taken something from you, well, that must mean cognitively you've placed them above you in order to do that. No, like, are you telling me now a baby will come and take money from you without you voluntarily giving it? So people will always seek to attach a face to a name. If you lack a personal brand, then you lack the foundations to your empire. That is the significance of a personal brand. Number 2, target audience. There is no empire without its people. There is no brand without its community. And there are no customers without direction. Your target audience are the people you have chosen to wear the clothes you will place on their back. It is wrong to sell your clothes to a stranger when there is people in your village, in your home, in your town, in your empire, in your community that are waiting for a piece of clothing. It is wrong of you to do that. You should not sell your clothes to anyone. It should only be for the people you have chosen. These people you have handpicked in order to be a part of your kingdom and take refuge in your empire with your hoodies, your t-shirts, your jeans, your joggers, your sweatpants, your hats, your gloves, and accessories. You have given these people shelter. You have given these people refuge in your empire. Why are we letting random people that are not going to appreciate your brand inside the community? Why? Because you want to sell to 10,000 people? What? To make $1 million, it doesn't even require 10,000. 1,000 people could get you to $1 million. Only the people you have chosen should be allowed refuge in your empire. The item you sell to them has no meaning to them. The meaning behind the item is truly what holds the value. If you remember what I said before, it is when we did the exercise and you looked at all the images, you didn't say wear to a suit and tie because it's a suit and fucking tie. You said wear to the suit and tie because you felt smart if you wore that. Because you felt confident if you wore that. Because you felt capable if you wore that. Because you would feel like Harvey Specter if you wore that. So you're buying into an identity, not the actual suit and tie. Who gives a flying heck about fabric? I'm sorry, no one gives a shit about the fabric. You could say distressing in the features. No one really gives a shit. No one really gives a shit. I'm sorry, but no one really cares. It's the meaning behind it. If you know your enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the outcome of 100 battles. And this is from Sun Tzu, which is The Art of War. That book is a very good book. Now, if you cannot describe who your target audience is and make it very clear on how you can solve their problem for them, they will not buy. Without a target, you will throw a dart and it will land on the floor. So your target audience are the people you have chosen. And once you're very, very clear on who you're selling to, it makes life 100 times easier because you know that every single sale is every single person that will appreciate the thing that you have made for them. Number 3, brand identity. Give your brand a body. Give your brand a shape. Give your brand a smell. Give your brand a mind. Give your brand arms and legs. Give your brand consciousness. Your brand identity is simply who your customer becomes the moment they wear the cloth you have made. It's the transformation from no clothes to your clothes. They step out the shower, they walk into their room, they see the clothes on their bed, they put it on, and they feel like a different person. What is that? What is that? What is that identity? What have you made for them to feel? That is the identity, right? So what does your brand look as a person? So what does your brand look like as a person? What does your brand sound like if they had a voice? How would your brand as a person walk, talk, act, think, and move? How would they eat? How would your brand sleep? How do they take on life when it's incredibly difficult for them to do so? And what is the meaning behind the brand you've created? Why did you make this brand? Who is the person going to be the minute they wear it? Step 4, the 4th pillar, your unique selling point. What's the distinctive feature you can point out and say, aha, that feature is the work of X brand founder, right? That right there is your unique selling point. If someone can look at your clothes and from one look, just maybe looking from maybe the cuff length or the logo, and they're like, oh, that is that brand, or that person owns that brand, you've got your unique selling point. Okay? And I want you to think about it this way. Your unique selling point is the last name of your brand. You have a first name and a last name. And if, God forbid, you got lost and your parents had to find you and they looked through a bunch of people, they would obviously look at your first name, but they would also identify you by your last name. It's a lineage. Think about your clothing brand as lineage. Once you see your clothing brand as lineage, what lineage are you going to lay behind for the rest of these customers' lives? Is it going to be some circle logo with big boys? Like, what the fuck? No. Your unique selling point is the inheritance you will leave behind. Your unique selling point is the feature that shows the world that it's your brand. What is your last name feature of your brand? How should founders, buyers, watchers, onlookers, your community, and the world remember your brand when looking at it for only 1 second? After all, a tick is more than enough for you to recognize Nike. So let me ask you, what's your tick? Number 5, the 5th pillar, your customer experience. The journey you take your community on, from the purchase on the website to the delivery to their hands, to the unpacking of the order, to touching the material, to wearing it and trying it, that is the customer experience. Their satisfaction depends solely on you. The 5 pillars have been explained, but now you still have a problem. How on earth are you going to get started with all this? Because I've just labeled all these different pillars and all these different ways that you can create this successful brand. And without these 5 pillars, you are not going to create a successful brand. If your brand is lacking any of these pillars, say goodnight. Just say goodnight. Okay? I know some people that have built a brand from a personal brand, but it doesn't necessarily mean that brand is successful. It may generate money, but success can be measured by different things. And if you really want to be great and not good, this is the type of things that you need to consider. Without these 5 pillars, you're not going far. Far enough, even. Now, once again, I said I will leave no stone unturned. So I'm not just going to give you this information and expect you to figure out on your own. I'm going to give you as much guidance and direction as I can. Because once again, and I haven't said this yet, but I run my own consulting company where we help brands go from 4 figures, high 4 figures to 5, 6 figures and scale their shit profitably, safely, right? Without worrying about fulfillment, the customer acquisition cost, cost of goods, all that nonsense. So if that's something you're interested in, check the link in the bio to book a call with us to see what we're about. Or I'm actually going to break it down in the video with additional support section. So you can stick around for that. But without further ado, let's continue. So I want to make this very clear. If you came all this way into the video to not go through and to apply what we've learned, then please unsubscribe, unlike this video if you have, and just don't come back. This is for your own sake. Don't get all this information. Don't learn how to make a successful brand and not do it. because trust me, I say this with all the love in my heart, you will fucking regret it. You will regret it. You will regret not trying. If you have access to every piece of information and you know exactly what to do to make your brand grow and to make money, and you choose not to because you're being lazy, for your own sake, don't learn anymore. Don't even get curious. Go back to TikTok. Don't find out what's on the other side of poverty. Don't find out what's on the other side of being broke. Do not find out, because once you find out, there is no going back. You have no choice but to make it. So, step one, complete the brand clarity checklist. Now, I released this sheet on TikTok. A bunch of people got it, and I'm gonna go over it with you real quick. But in order for you to fully diagnose your brand, I have made a 15 step by step guide in order to look at every single part of your brand, right? And obviously, I'm not going to go over everything, otherwise this would be like a 2-hour video. But we have a few different sections. So first, we have your brand foundation, and you need to write here. So I've added these little prompts to write here. For example, what does your brand stand for? Where do you want this brand to be in the next 3 to 5 years? Why did this brand start originally? What problem does your brand solve for people? What does your brand represent emotionally? You can choose these words. And then you want to go through this document and you want to answer all these questions to the best of your ability. You don't want to just come here and be like, what does your brand stand for? It stands for superheroes. I need you to think a little harder. If you want this brand to give you financial freedom, think for an extra 30 minutes and really take the time to answer the sheet. This sheet might take you a day. No, this sheet should take you a few days to fill in, because you need to consider every single part of your brand before you start. Because once you start, you will have so much clarity, and when you start, you're going to have so much confidence, and it's almost going to be like you know how to make a brand scale from 0 to 10K in a day. But you won't know that if you don't even know what your brand stands for, because you wrote one line. Do not half-ass this. Like, please, don't be the person that half-ass this shit. I know a lot of people who half-ass shit and will get ChatGPT. Okay, do not use ChatGPT for this shit. Only if you don't, like, if you genuinely don't understand the question from this, I get it. Ask ChatGPT to explain it to you and maybe articulate your words. But if you're asking ChatGPT to make your brand name for you, without you critically thinking and thinking how you can solve this problem for your market, brother, sister, alien, whatever you are, you're cooked. Don't start this brand. Do not half-ass this shit. If you're looking at this page and you're like, damn, this is so long, how the fuck are you gonna build a business? If you're looking at this and you're like, damn, this is, bro, this is gonna take so long, bro. Good luck to making a business, bro. So we have a bunch of this, and it goes over pretty much every part of your brand. When you work with us as a client, we give you a 23-page document and we diagnose your business from top all the way to bottom. So we don't start the scaling part yet. We go through everything first, right? And we get some niche and market clarity, so you'll be able to look at your competition. You'll be able to see what people do better than you. You see your target audience from your age range. So this is when we talk about target audience, when we talk about target audience, we are researching these people. Like, don't get me wrong, like my ICP or my ideal client profile will be a lot more in depth than this. Like, it's like multiple pages, right? But in your case, this is a very nice place to start from. You can start from the age range. How old are these people? What gender are they? What country do they live in? What's their income level? What's their lifestyle? What do they care about? What social platforms are they on the most? What influencers do they follow? What genre of music do they listen to? What brands do they already buy from? What is your customer trying to become? Once again, if you remember the quote, if you know yourself and you know your enemy, you do not need to fear the outcome of 100 battles. You will be able to make a product so good that will solve your niche's problem and your ideal target audience's problem without, like, they will watch your ads and they will watch your short films and videos thinking, how does this brand know me to a T? Woohoo, you've got this checklist, okay? And your brand identity, things like this, right? So go through this sheet, first things first, and answer every single bit. Take time. Take your time to do this. From this talks from your brand foundation to your name, to your product, to your pricing and positioning, to your content, your community, your sales, your website, every single thing. And once you're done, here's your final score. You can look at this and you can rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And we have a little additional support section at the end, which I'll go over with you anyways. So you can look at this in the PDF or the Google document link you'll get in the description. The only thing that checklist doesn't account for is your personal brand. And your personal brand is one of the most important things you're ever going to need. because it separates you but keeps you close to the business. It gives you your own identity with your own power, but at the same time, it also allows people to admire you and buy from you even more. Okay, so let's go over to complete the personal brand checklist. So, welcome to the personal brand checklist. This is where you begin to build up your personal brand and follow the guide to get started. This checklist isn't extremely as comprehensive as the video, simply because that's reserved for our clients. So we have like a 8-page document where it's just absolutely killer of everything they need to focus on: their content, their strategy, their marketing, every single thing, how they're trying to present themselves. But I can't just give you that sheet because people are paying for this, right? We have our clients paying for this. So for additional information and support, see the last page of the document. Once again, I'll go over that with you, but simply at the end, it is a funnel, it is a pitch. So if you book a call with us, we are going to sell you something. But yeah, now let's go over this. The introduction: your personal brand mission. What do you want to be known for? Okay. And I've given 5 things here because it's a lot easier for you to write a point by point by point than for you to write a whole paragraph, because then you will just go on a tangent about so many things that don't matter. You want to keep this as concise but also as specific as possible. Think about this deeply. For your personal brand, what do you want to be known for? When people open your Instagram or whatever page you want to do this on, what should people know you for? And obviously the right answer, one of the answers already here, should be a brand. So you can write in here, my brand. But pal, like I need you to think of like a little bit more critically than that, right? Because if you just say my brand, man, it's like you're not even trying. You're not actually trying. Like, I didn't write this document, and I'm not making and writing all these resources just for you to write one liners. I really want you to succeed. I really want you to succeed. And the reason why, like, my intentions, I'm not gonna lie, my intentions are pure. But at the same time, if you make money, you'll come to me, and then we can make more money together. So you make money, I make money, we both make money. So I'm helping you make your first 0 to 10K, and then when you come to me, I'll take whatever I take, and then we'll go from 0 to 10, from 10 to 100, or however high you want to go. Okay? So really think about this. What do you want to be known for in your personal brand? The next thing, with your personal brand, niche. What specific space do you dominate? Okay? Do you dominate? Let's say, do you want to dominate? Because I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, either you're in the early stages of doing your brand, or you're a bit confused about how to run your brand better, right? Your target audience. Define your target audience, right? Sorry, I need to edit this in real time. I kind of... Okay, that's clearly... Okay, so your target audience. Who exactly are you speaking to? This should be easy to do. If you've done the brand checklist first, which you should have done, so if you haven't done this and you're watching this, pause the video, go back and finish the brand checklist, then come back and do this, okay? But once you finish the brand checklist, come back to this and write down who your target audience is in like a line. Now, you can have a paragraph, ask ChatGPT to summarize it in just one line and just put it here, or a sentence, or however long. If you want to write longer, write longer. Like, I'm not going to prevent you from here. The more, really, the better, but just don't go on a tangent and talk about things that don't matter. Problem you solve. What pain point do you help with? You want to kind of look at your brand and the product as medication. Your customers, as we explained before, have a problem. They have a problem with their identity. You are giving them the medicine in order to fix that. So what do you make them feel? How do you relieve their pain? Do they go from shy to being confident? Do they go from looking like a loser to looking swaggy? How do they look? And your unique angle. Think about this. Why should people listen to you over others? And this is where you can come and leverage your brand. This is where you can come in and leverage your story. This is where you can come in and leverage you. This is where you sell you. And this is so important to build a personal brand, because when you build this, you have to think about, what makes me stand out from my competitors? Well, my work ethic, or the environment I'm in. People do not take advantage of the situation enough. If you're living, for example, in a warehouse or in a 1-bedroom apartment, and your landlord is about to take rent, you can use that in order to get people to be inspired by your story. Everyone has a unique angle. Everyone has a reason to fight. Everyone has a reason to make it. You just need to tell people that. So once you fill this in, let's go over to the next section. So your social media platform choice. Now, you want to make this personal brand, but at the same time, you want to choose the social media platform you want to do it on. Now, I'm going to be honest here. There's really only one application that you should really focus on when it comes to building a personal brand. But I know some people who have tried other things. If it works for you, if it works. But if you want to save yourself a lot less hassle and just be able to focus on the business and the personal brand quickly, then I'd advise this. So this is a simple choice of which platform you want to build your personal brand on. This should be, however, a no-brainer because one application demands more authority than others in the clothing brand space. Okay? Instagram. You've seen it. Wow. Instagram is a non-negotiable. It's just the king of building a personal brand. Now, you can build a personal brand on TikTok, but it's not advised. Instead, I'd use TikTok as your funnel to give people advice, show and document the journey, build a community and channel it, and then take them to either your WhatsApp communities, your Instagram broadcast communities, your email list, your SMS list on Discord, right? So Instagram should be used for pictures, updates on the story too, for example, where you show your audience that the ship is going into one direction. So you're actually steering the ship of your business. Like your Instagram page should be like, okay, cool. Like, oh my God, like this is how he lives on a day-to-day life. You know, like you shouldn't be dropping a 10-minute banger like Instagram video on how to build a clothing brand on Instagram. It's just, you're not really doing that much there. You should really put that on TikTok instead. On your Instagram, you should show people the lifestyle. Now, can you obviously add value? Yes, but do not make your Instagram page solely a value-based page, if that makes sense. And Instagram as well, the benefit with using Instagram is that you can also use it quite like TikTok, where you can show and document your journey, you can give notes. But if you're just starting out, giving value to the market and like giving people advice without any method or without any proof or without any form of test to back up your words, it would just seem very like, how many people go on TikTok and the first piece of content is that they give advice? You know, everyone's tired of it. People want to see your story, right? So it should not be used. I said it should not be used like TikTok, but I'll be honest here, I'm contradicting myself here. The algorithms are different, and by that, where you post multiple times a day. So what I'm saying is you should not use TikTok like Instagram where you post multiple times a day. Instagram has a very different algorithm. It's just not going to push out multiple pieces of content because it thinks it's spam. Now, you have to see that Instagram and TikTok serve very different purposes. Instagram is for carousels, for photos, and for reels as well, and also for ads and meta ads and stuff like that. Where TikTok is for more organic content, for posting, for spamming, just showing your lifestyle. So I would use both. Just use both. Take advantage of both because you can build up a community and get people to admire you on TikTok and then go to your Instagram and then, follow, right? But yeah. Now, profile page and picture optimization. People do not talk about this enough. I don't know why people don't, but this is the bare minimum and the basics. So step 1.1, go to Instagram.com and your username, okay? Now, when you go to Instagram, in your bio, I need you to add the founder of, and then add your brand. Now, if you've just made your account, it doesn't matter. Add your brand there anyways. Let people see that you're the founder of something. It just adds more authority. If people just see your page and they just don't know who you are, it's just, and once you've gone into your bio and you've added founder of your brand, I need you to clean up your bio. Go in there, clean up. If you have an image or emojis and you're like, I like cats, hee, delete that shit. You're a founder, right? Make sure you don't add anything too long or excessive. Now, this is a personal preference. I just find it when I'm looking at founders and they just have things concise, they have things short and sweet, and the bio is just founder and then maybe a little line at the bottom about who they are and what they do or why they've done what they've done. It's just more authoritative than adding, hey guys, I like journals, I like books, I like words. What do you like? It's like, man, what the hell, right? So it's a personal preference here. Whatever works for you. If it floats your boat, it floats your boat. Now, once again, don't make your bio sound childish. You don't want people to look at your bio and be like, this guy, like his brand is cool, but he's kind of a bit like, unless that's the angle you're going for. Now, I'm not telling you to care about what people say, but this is like you're running a business here. So you want to kind of clean up things. You want to make people see what you've got going on. Now with clothing, it's different from like, for example, with consulting, because the creativity aspect is more appreciated in clothing brands or in the clothing brand market. With consulting, if you add an image of like a baby in your bio and you're like, hee, it's looked down on. It's not really as appreciated. So yeah. Now, with your profile picture, make sure your profile picture is clear. Make sure your profile picture has good lighting. Can either see your face or your body. They can tell who you are. Isn't an image of something random. I've seen this before. People have added like images of a hammer. Why is a hammer your profile picture? What is going on? Fix that up, okay? It's simple or explains you as a person. And it either looks professional or looks mysterious. Okay, I know some people either just get pictures of their face and you can clearly see, or they get like just a color blue on their profile picture, and the photos underneath are all clean shots. So you want to make sure all your pictures, like if you're gonna go for the angle like of the mysterious profile picture, well, do not add an anime profile picture into your bio. Just don't add a damn anime profile picture into your bio. All right? Once again, personal preference, but that's all I'm gonna say. Either you go down a mysterious route where you add like a color, or you add like a word, or you add just something just mysterious but looks clean, that is like simplistic and minimalistic, or you get professional where you add your face, or you add your body, or just something that people can recognize you for. And if you're gonna go down the mysterious angle, well, make sure all your pictures look clean, you have good photos, you have good videos, everything is high quality, it just looks good, okay? Because you'll get more followers, even if people don't see or know you for the brand, they will still like your photos, they will still like your videos just because it looks clean, okay? Now, the next thing, archive any pictures, photos, images that do not make the page look professional, clean, or consistent. For example, don't have a random picture of food or like a food truck on your page. You're just like, why? You're a founder now. You're a business owner now. Why are we having food trucks on our page? If it's not relating to maybe your story, your history. Like if you used to take a picture of a food truck and be like, oh, this inspired me to create my clothes, then by all means keep it. But if you just have a random picture of a food truck and it's just, there's just no context, it's like, what? Okay. And another thing, underrated, but it's very important. Unfollow random pages, people that are bots, or will make your page look non-reputable. So if you have a bunch of bots that you're following, or a bunch of people that you're following and their pages just don't look credible, remove it. And the only reason I'd recommend this is because your customers and your niche and your audience are all obsessed with you. Yes, you're that famous. They're obsessed. So they're going to look at your following list and they're going to see who you follow and then try to find mutuals. And if they see your following list and you're just following a bunch of bots, it just makes your account quality just look so shit. It just, I don't know what it explains. It just like, if you're a brand and you're like, you have like 600,000 followers and you're following like 20,000 people, it just makes it just lowers your quality. I don't know what it is about it, but it just makes your quality of your page just go down a lot more, like a few tones. So unfollow any of these random bots. Anyone that's not going to support the brand, just unfollow it. If you can, the only two people you should be following is your brand and maybe a backup account you have or something like that, right? Go to TikTok. Okay, step 1.6. So go to TikTok, okay, add your username or whatever, and clean up your bio, add founder in your bio, and follow steps 1.2. So from your bio, founder, and everything we said here, all the way to 1.5, which is down here. So unfollow a bunch of random pages, again, for TikTok. Now, this is a personal preference for TikTok, right? You can leave your images and videos on TikTok, so you don't have to archive them, if you'd like to show your community your whole journey and not leave anything blank. So boom, there you have it. That is exactly how you build a successful clothing brand. I've gone over the 5 pillars and how to do it. I've also shown you how to get your personal brand up and going. If you're someone who's genuinely just started, well, now I've just given you the blueprint. I've not told you to go to Shopify and stuff. You can watch another video, but I've explained the core elements of the business, the things that are going to take you there when you're stuck and you don't know what to do. Okay, now let's go into additional support. Now, before we move on, this is a pitch. I am going to sell you something. So if you don't want to hear this, then by all means, continue to move. But for the founders who really want to make more money and really want to scale, and they're tired of your business just doing shit, and you like the things I've said, and you like the way I work, because it's similar to the way we work with our clients here, not through Google Docs, like, 50 pages, but we look at everything from A to Z. If this is something you like and this is something you want to see, listen up. Now, if you want to be able to diagnose your entire business from A to Z and you don't want to do it yourself, you want someone to do it for you, and you want to scale, you want to make money, and you want to solve that one constraint in your business that's preventing you from getting from 5, 4 to high 6 figures a month, be able to scale comfortably without your cash bleeding, not worry if your sales will spike and go up and down every drop, and have consistency in results and growth, then check out what we have below. So once you get this document, we have this video. Okay, it is a pitch. This is a pitch. This is a VSL. This is a pitch. I'm reiterating this. This is a pitch. I am going to sell you something. At the end of this call, I'm going to ask you to book a call, because I have a calendar link there in order for you to talk to us and we can sell you something. So watch the pitch and feel free to go through it. And yeah, this is the link below. If you need it, I'll also add the link in the description to book a call. If you already dead set and you just want to start working with us, you want to see what we can do, then genuinely just book the call. Don't be afraid to book the call. I'm not going to sell you anything if you're not a good fit. If I genuinely believe that we could work together, then I would definitely propose and I'll show you everything we can do. But if not, then you can just go about your day. Okay, so you never know what will happen. Maybe I can be the guy to take you to 6 figures, or maybe someone else will. But the whole point is try. If you like this video, subscribe, like the video, share it to other founders, and go through all these action items and tell me what you see. Okay, now look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and take care.